And now for something completely different.
Two obscenely talented groups of Englishmen who became globally popular, producing an unsurpassed body of work and causing controversy before breaking up. The comparisons between Monty Python and the Beatles are legion.
End of part one. Intermission. End of intermission. Part 2.
George remarked that he was convinced the spirit of the Beatles had passed on to Monty Python. In fact, Python debuted on our TV screens at about the same time that the Beatles were splitting up. Their humour was rooted in the surreal. Spot the similarities between this scene from Magical Mystery Tour, with John playing the role of a waiter serving a mountain of pasta, to this one from The Meaning of Life with a gluttonous Mr. Creosote. Both courted controversy, leading to outrage, protest, and bans.
Across the Pacific in the United States, a furor is developing over comments John Lennon made. Quote, "Christianity will go. It will vanish and shrink. We're more popular than Jesus." Unquote.
Well, you can't just keep quiet about anything that's going on in the world unless you're a monk. Sorry, monks, I didn't mean it. I meant actually.
Even referencing the crucifixion.
The way things are going, they're gonna crucify me. And always look on the bright side of life. Come on.
The Beatles pioneered stadium concerts, whilst the Pythons did the same for comedy. Both made landmark appearances at the Hollywood Bowl. The Beatles and the Pythons both shared the same love for a silly song.
Every sperm is sacred, every sperm is great.
Python animator and later acclaimed director Terry Gilliam was heavily influenced by the Yellow Submarine movie. His use of faux Victoriana has a direct link back to the Eleanor Rigby section of Yellow Submarine.
Ah, look at all the lovely people.
Both the Beatles and Monty Python were fans of each other. According to Michael Palin, Paul would even stop sessions during the first series of Monty Python so he could watch the show live on BBC television. George even sent a congratulatory telegram to them.
The Pythons, having been a big fan, and still am really.
Was that true that you sent a telegram to the BBC?
Nobody ever reacted to it.
But we never ever received this What did it massive. Say?
Oh, I don't remember. Something like, fab. Fab, lads. Well done. Keep doing it. I don't know. Just some word of encouragement, that at least 2 people out there enjoyed it.
Ringo and George appeared in cameos with the Pythons. Ringo in the 3rd season of the Monty Python TV series, and George appeared in The Life of Brian whilst making a flying visit to the film set in Tunisia.
Tonight, from London, your special guests are Lulu, Ringo Starr, and the man you've all been waiting for, your host for tonight,
Hello. Good evening. Welcome. It's...
Brian, can I introduce the gentleman who's letting us have the mount on Sunday? Hello.
Mega Python fan George became good friends with Eric Idle. When Bernard Delfont, the head of EMI Films, suddenly removed financing for The Life of Brian partway through production, George came to the rescue, establishing Handmade Films as the production company and personally stumping up the then very considerable sum of £4 million.
We thought that it was never going to be made, and then Eric rang and said, we got the money. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, George Harrison is going to put the money up. He's a good pal of Eric's. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, I gave him the script last night. He read it in bed, said he fell out of bed laughing, and he's putting the money up. I said, what, all the money? He says, yes, he's going to mortgage his house. And then Eric said, well, I asked him why, and he said, well, I want to see the film. She's wonderful. Bless him up there. Yeah. Bless him, because otherwise we wouldn't have Life of Brian.
Still the most anyone has ever paid for a cinema ticket. George and Eric's friendship would lead to the creation of the spoof band The Ruttles and the mockumentaries All You Need Is Cash and Can't Buy Me Lunch, largely supported by all of the Beatles. If you'd like to learn more about the Ruttles and the Beatles, click on the link above or in the description below. The comedy of Peter Cook and Dudley Moore was also influential on both the Beatles and Monty Python. John Cleese appeared with the duo in an episode of their TV series Goodbye Again, and John Lennon appeared in 3 consecutive episodes of Pete and Dud's Not Only But Also, here playing the role of a doorman in a skit on the door policy of the London Ad Lib Club.
There is a £5 waiting list.
I understand. That's one of the blue ones,
right?
Isn't it? Thank you very much indeed. I love your Oxford accent.
Lovely. Follow your nose, sir.
John Cleese would later progress to the role of Robin Hood in Terry Gilliam's Time Bandits.
And you're a robber too, are you? How long have you been a robber? 4'1". Good Lord. Jolly good. 4'1". Yes. Well, that is a long time, isn't it?
The missing link between the Beatles and Monty Python is the Goon Show, a radio comedy broadcast by the BBC Home Service from 1951 to 1960, which heavily influenced them both.
Do you want to do these announcements? Well, go ahead. You go ahead.
No,
that's all right.
Where's he gone?
Tell them what the next song.
We'd like to carry on with Chuck Berry's I've Got to Find My Baby, Don't Know Where She's Been. Pardon? Hello? Love these Goon shows.
Blue button, you little devil. What were you doing up my trousers?
A man has to do what he has to do.
These were my childhood heroes. I became almost obsessed with them. And I'm glad that I did, because many years later I was able to understand the audience response to Monty Python in a way that I would never have done if I hadn't been such a fan of that show.
It was rather like hearing Elvis Presley doing Heartbreak Hotel for the first time. You knew this was very, very different. And it wasn't just that my father sort of looked askance at the radio when he heard it. It was that there was something in the form of it that was different.
That tricycle against the wall. Whose is it?
Mine. A present from an admirer.
Could you drive me to town on it?
Oh, the tricycle isn't mine. The wall was the present.
Well, drive me there on that.
Right, hold tight.
The Goon Show consisted of creator Spike Milligan, together with Harry Seacombe, Michael Bentine, and Peter Sellers. This prefab four also released records produced by George Martin, and this really impressed the Beatles when they first found out that they were going to be working with George Martin. Spike Milligan assembled the No One's Gonna Change Our World compilation album to raise money for the World Wildlife Fund and approached the Beatles to donate a track. This was the first time that Across the Universe would appear on record. Spike Milligan also had a cameo role in the life of Brian.
I am affected by a bald patch. I'm healed. The master has healed me. I didn't touch him. I was blind and now I can see.
Peter Sellers charted in the UK with a comedy version of A Hard Day's Night, impersonating Laurence Olivier as Richard III, produced by George Martin on parlophone and appearing in the Music of Lennon and McCartney TV show.
What's all this, John? It's Peter Sellers.
It has been a hard day's night.
Peter Sellers became close friends with Ringo. Octopus's Garden inspired whilst on holiday on Sellers' yacht in Greece. Ringo would go on to buy Sellers' house and co-star with him in the movie Magic Christian.
There. That's a splendid nose.
17th century?
Easily. Excellent nose. Keep that, you can burn the rest. Yes, unless of course you have any other French noses by Van Dyck or...
No.
Come, young one, let's go and watch the auction.
And keep your eye open for a good ear.
Peter Sellers also introduced George to Dennis O'Brien, who went on to become George's business manager and co-founder of Handmade Films, whose logo was designed by Terry Gilliam. A clearly embarrassed Peter Sellers had a cameo role in Peter Jackson's Get Back.
We've been lucky enough this evening to secure the talents of Mr. Peter Sellers here, who's going to give us number 3.
Like the Beatles, Monty Python would also reunite after their breakup, despite the death of one of their members. Both remain key cultural figures, not just in their own time, but also their work will live on for many generations to come.
Oh.